Sarah from Stitch by Sarah, and welcome to my very first blog. As you can see, my background is slightly different to the last time I filmed in my sewing corner. So behind me are some flowers that I've made out of cardboard. There were 148 petals in total that I cut out in various sizes and shapes, and then I lost track of the number of glue sticks that I used to put together, but probably about 10. And then they've got tissue paper centres. So I enjoyed re-watching Bridgerton while I made those. So today I am going to be making some scrunchies. I will insert footage from yesterday where I cut out all the scrunchies, so enjoy that. Hi. I'm trying to clear the table so I can do some cutting. Do you think you can move? Oh, good boy. Thank you. So first up today we're going to be making some school scrunchies. The ones we're going to be making are the red and black ones. So first thing I need to do is I will be sewing the red and black fabric together so I can then use the Burrito method to make the scrunchies. After that I will be making some of the sports scrunchies, also in red and black. Blech. Then I'll be making some of the sports scrunchies in red and black as well. This is a little bit trickier to sew with. Also requires a different needle, a stitch needle, so that I can sew the lycra fabric properly. And then finally, hopefully I'll get to it today, I may not, will be, I need to make some squirt and squat scrunchies because I'm hoping to take them up to the local swim school to see whether or not they would like to sell them. So that's the agenda for today. I hope you join me as we go through a lot of sewing, and hopefully we'll have some good number of scrunchies at the end of it. First thing we're going to be doing is getting the thread sorted so we can start sewing. Check that. First thing I need to do is actually load a bobbin up.
Yearning flows like a raging tide, heartache tears apart like a sharp blade. Loneliness follows like a shadow, only longing to embrace your silhouette. Love.
Because I am sewing with Satin today, the needle is super fine, so it takes me a bit to get through. So now we get to sew a lot of straight lines.
Surges like the tide, tears fall like raindrops. Forever loving you till eternity. Memories entangle like a nightmare past the years. Memories entangle like a nightmare past the years. Lost rings I know like a nightmare past the years. Lost rings I know like a nightmare past the years. Loneliness follows like a shadow, only longing to embrace your silhouette. Only longing to embrace your silhouette. Your silhouette. Your silhouette. Memories entangle like a nightmare past years. Memories entangle like a nightmare past years. Memories entangle like a nightmare past years. Loneliness follows like a shadow.
So now it's time to start the burrito construction.
To embrace your silhouette. Only longing to embrace your silhouette. Your silhouette. Your silhouette. Memories entangle like a nightmare past years. Memories entangle like a nightmare past years. Memories entangle like a nightmare past years.
It's burrito time. Oh, and fudge has come. Dude, not helpful. They can't see. Well, I've got to change my camera so that they can see. Right, take two.
this be with me? Searching for some meaning in this empty space. Just a tune to keep repeating. Find my own sweet place. La 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 la, nothing but a song. Na 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 na, come and sing along. Oh, hear the music strong. Yeah, 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 where we all belong. In the night I'm wandering through these open skies. All the stars are murmuring, singing lullabies. Got no riches, got no fame, just this rhythm here. Let the world just know my name with every note they hear. La 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 la, nothing but a song. Na 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 na. Na 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 na, come and sing along. Come and sing along. Oh, hear the music strong. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where we all belong. In the night I'm wandering through these open skies. All the stars are murmuring.
So the way I do the burrito method is I like to start sewing on the join. So most people do it the opposite way, but I like to be able to line that up if I can. The other thing that happens when you start with the seam is that it makes it a lot easier to find where you need to insert the elastic into it. And because I like to make the tubes, have a few of each type, so white elastic and regular elastic made, but then I leave the rest of the tubes just blank without the elastic in it, because that means that whenever I get an order in, I can then go, okay, this is a regular elastic one, pop that in, doesn't take very long at all, sew that up and then get that out. Whereas if I make a whole lot of, so say I'm making 10 and I make 5 regular and 5 wide, but I end up with 7 wide and 3 regular in my orders, I then have to make more. So I just thought it's a more efficient way to do it. Back to the sewing.
Singing lullabies, got no riches, got no fame, just this rhythm here. Let the world just know my name with every note they hear. La 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 la, nothing but a song. Na 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 na, come and sing.
Okay, didn't get the tube right on that one. And I like to sew with a 2.5mm stitch. It's what my mum taught me to sew at. But I've found that if I sew at 3mm, it doesn't hold it together as tightly as I would like. And when you get to 1.5mm, it's really, really good for sewing up seams. So in the bottom of the box bags that I'm making, when I sew the lining together, it works really, really well there. but it's a complete nightmare to unpick if you make a mistake. Back to our programming. I've also been sewing with the red on top of the black because it makes it a lot easier for me to see how the fabric's lined up. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I don't like to sew too fast, so I don't actually know how I'd go with an industrial sewing machine because it would be too fast for me. Oh, let's move me back a little bit.
Hear the music strong. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where we all belong.
The reason I like to turn them inside out, also into the right way as soon as possible, is because, as you've probably seen, they start fraying very quickly. So this way it's a bit more protected. On my little tool chest here, I have a number of things, including a turner and a bodkin and a ruler and glue, but I also have a nail file because this satin is extremely delicate, so if there's any rough parts on your nail at all, it does start catching. So I start off thinking it's all fine, and often it is, but then all of a sudden you start feeling the catches happening, and you need to kind of get in there and make sure you don't cause any more. Fascinates me that despite being extremely pedantic with my cutting, things still don't line up. So slippery, it's so easy for it to get caught back and under. If you're wondering why I'm cutting these at this point, it's because once you sort of start pulling it through with the fraying that occurs on the satin, starts getting really challenging to work out which is the threads and which is the black satin fraying. So I like to clip it off then, where it's really obvious what it is, and then I don't clip the wrong thing.
Two hearts, one melody.
The other thing I like to do is when I've pulled a bit of a tail through, I tuck it, and then that helps make sure I sew it as tight as I possibly can, but not too far, so I can still pull it through.
Our symphony, in the rhythm of love, we dance without stopping. In this song, together we will dream. Two hearts, one song, united by the same emotion. In the rhythm of love, we will continue with you. I always want
Morning, it's Wednesday today. I did not get as far as I wanted to yesterday with my sewing. I did manage to get the black and red tubes, Satin, XL Satin tubes sewn like I wanted to, but I didn't get to making the lycra sports scrunchie. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. So I'm going to make that my goal for the day. Lycra is not the easiest fabric to sew with. The scuba lycra, which I'm making the squat and squirt scrunchies out of, that's beautiful to sew with. Absolutely adore it. Someone wants to come say hello. Come on, come here. Oh, come here. So I love sewing with that, but the red and black has a higher lycra content to it. And that makes it a lot shinier and a lot more slippery to sew with. So might be a bit amusing laughing at me as I try to sew this, but let's give it a go. Alright, you. Hey. I've got to do some sewing. You can't come help. No, I need both hands. Yeah, it's very sad, isn't it? Okay, yeah.
In the soft notes, I meet your gaze. In each chord, I feel your love. The music guides us without direction.
Okay, now we can split them. And where I have miscalculated, my cutting, clean that up.
Hearts, one passion, two hearts, one soul, united by the same emotion in the rhythm.
So now we effectively have the equivalent of what's a normal piece of fabric cut, and I can start using the Burrito method to put them together. So that one there has come through scaringly close, so I am going to resew that one.
Love, we will continue with you. I always want to be here. In the soft notes, I meet your gaze. In each chord, I feel your love. The music guides us without direction. Two hearts, one passion. And when the night falls and silence arrives, our song will rock us. Two hearts, one voice, singing together, just the two of us. Two hearts, one song.
Not sure if that's third or fourth time lucky. Happening. That's better.
United by the same emotion, in the rhythm of love, we will continue with you. I always want to be here. Two hearts, one song, united by the same emotion. In the rhythm of love, we will continue with you. I always want to be here. Two hearts, one song, forever together in this union. In the rhythm of love, let's live. hearts, a song for...
Sew it up. Alright, I'm going to take a break now and go deal with some social media content I need to post, and I'll be back soon.
Vixen on the beat. Vixen on the beat.
So the next step is to take the sports scrunchies that we've sewn into the tubes with the red and black lycra, and we need to cut the elastic, and so let's do that. Now, I can get the elastic through and grab hold of it, but sometimes my coordination is not good. So the trick I've come up with is to attach a peg to the end. It achieves two things. One, it stops it from pulling through most of the time. I have managed to cause problems in the past. But the other thing is it helps me make sure that I'm tracking the elastic so it doesn't twist in the scrunchie, so it's really important that it comes around in a loop without any twists in it when you sew it up together. So that is what I am doing. And no, I have not seen anybody else do it this way, it's just the way I do it. So here we are. So because I start and stop where the vertical seam is, it means that it's a lot easier for me to find the opening, because in the past it has taken me a very long time to find it. Let's do another check, and then can glue it down, but the glue that I was able to get from Spotlight is like this seriously full-on glue, and unfortunately it does not stick straight away. So basically I'd have to I would have to glue them, peg them in place to hold them so that they didn't pull apart while the glue set, and then come back to them like 4 to 5 hours later. It wasn't even a couple of hours, so I'm going to try the pinning technique today. So much rubbish today. So because I'm in an apartment building, we don't have the weekly rubbish collection like my neighbours and houses do. So we have a central rubbish room, and that houses both the standard rubbish and also the recycling. So 3 times a week we get the rubbish truck for the recycling, and see, pulled it. 3 times a week we get the recycling rubbish truck. In addition to that, my apartment building is right beside another apartment building, and so we also get right outside of me the rubbish trucks for them 3 times a week for both. So all up I have 12 rubbish truck visits every week, and it varies. Sometimes it can be quite early in the morning, other times like now it's a little bit later, it's 9:30. Now, so hopefully it will quieten down soon, and hopefully you've actually been able to hear all of this.
Vixen on the beat. Vixen on the beat.
So one of the things you may have noticed with this video is I'm not exactly smashing out a heap of scrunchies or bags or anything each day, and kind of getting a small amount done, and then don't see me for the next day. And the reason for that is my health. So I covered this off in the first video on my channel, which I'll link below. And basically I have not been able to work since July 2023. So this July it will be 3 years since I had to stop full-time work. And basically went from really awesome full-on corporate role, fairly good position, and full-time doing that. So that was the Monday, and by the Tuesday I had finished up work and went on leave that kept being extended, and in the end I had to resign. So I still have a lot of pain and fatigue, and hardest thing that I have had to learn with everything is that I have to pace, and so I can't just set myself a goal of let's sew 100 scrunchies today and smash it out, because the result of that is something called a Post Exercise Malaise, or PEM, and for me that can put me bedridden for a few days. So not something I'm keen to do to myself, but it's taken a huge amount to learn how to pace. So I basically need to check my energy levels in the morning and then do small amounts of exercise or activity, and got an app on my watch that I can now track things on. It's made it heaps easier, but it will tell me if my nervous system goes into overdrive, and when that happens I basically need to screech to a halt. But it means that I may be okay. Like today I've been able to go for a walk, and I should be able to get a good hour or so in sewing, and I'm hoping to do inventory later. But other days I will basically realise that my concentration levels are waning and I'm starting to make mistakes, and second that starts happening I basically need to pull the plug on it, and get horizontal and start resting. So very often I have grand plans for the day, and 99% of the time my to-do list, which I often create, pair down, check, pair down, I still don't hit, but at least I am upright and I am able to do a small amount of productive things a day. So we will now end this conversation around Post Exercise Malaise and my ability to do things in short bursts, and move on to sewing up the elastic on the scrunch. So when I'm sewing up the scrunchies, I like to set the sewing machine to about 1.5mm stitch, so it's nice and tight, and then I go backwards and forwards a few times, and that keeps it nice and tight and secure. So the elastics are all sewn now, so it's just a case of getting these all tucked inside, and then we can sew up the opening. Starting to look like the sports scrunchies now. Okay, so I made a bit of balls up of this one, but I'll be very happy to wear it, so that will be fine. These things happen. I have to remember to be kind to myself when I don't do things as perfectly as I would like them to be. All done. So despite plans to get a lot more done in this video, I have made the decision to call it here. So we're going to stick with red and black. So we've got a nice big handful of the red and black sports scrunchies made, and then we've also got a heap of the red and black satin tubes made ready for when I get an order of either the wide or the regular elastic. So thank you so much for joining me through this sewing video that I've put together for you. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, it would mean a huge amount to me if you could like this video and subscribe. As I've mentioned in other videos, I'm trying to turn this hobby into a business, and any time someone likes or subscribes, it actually makes a huge difference to me. So thank you very much if you do that, and I will see you next week.